Hello guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're gonna continue and hopefully finish the API. That way we can move on to the front end, where I'm going to be showing you guys how to implement React hooks, and I'm also gonna do another option of the front end with Angular 7 or 8, I think. But yeah. So I'm actually gonna take off this cam for the rest of the video, that way you guys can see more of the screen. So first of all, we were missing for the sign in and the sign out route. So that's what we're going to create right now, and we're going to do router post. And we're going to do sign in. That's going to be a controller. It's going to be a method in the auth controller. And we're also, this is going to be a post. It's going to be a post because we're also going to be sending some information. And then sign out. Sign out is just going to be a get, because we're just going to request a route and we're not going to send any information. Therefore, it'll only be that simple. And also we're going to create this. So as always, before you guys start, I already have my stuff running, but I'm getting this error because I'm gonna make this bigger. So I'm having this error because I haven't created this method yet, and it's gonna give me an error in the sign out also. Also, don't forget to run your MongoDB database, and I always like to leave this empty, that way I can do like my create files, my create directories and whatnot. So that being said, let's move on. So we're gonna go here to the auth controller, and we're going to create the missing methods. So let's start first with the sign in. So we're gonna do exports.signin. We're also going to do a request and a response, which is gonna we're gonna do this arrow function, which is going to request an email and a password from the user, which is going to come from a form later when we do the front end. For now, it's going to come from the API, either JSON or form. So user find one, we want to find a user in the database that has an email that matches the one that we're requesting. And since the emails are unique, there should only be one user with that exact email. So if there's an error for some reason, or if the user is not found, then we're going to return a 400 status. And I'm not going to go through the error status because I don't want to lose time, but they're very simple. Just Google them, and normally you have your 300s, your 500s, and your 300s, 400s, and 500s. Those status are errors, and the 200s are success statuses. So in this case, this specific error is user with that email does not exist. So that will happen only if we don't find a user like that. So if user is found, so if it doesn't fall through this if statement, means that there is a user with that email. So if user is found, make sure the email and password hashed, because remember we're saving in hashed. Hash password match. Create authenticate method in user model method. There you go. So if user dot authenticate password, then we're going to return, meaning if it's not authenticated, we're going to return also an error status for 1 with the JSON message, email and password don't match. And by the way, in case that you guys want to do it with just single quotes, because I see a lot of JavaScript documents with single quotes like that. So in order for you guys to write this, just write an escape bar / bar. I don't know how you call it, but that's how you can keep using the single quotes and write this here. Now, if the user is authenticated successfully, then we're going to have to create a token. So JWT, which stands for JSON Web Token, dot sign ID user ID process.env.jwt secret. And this is a method that comes from the JWT library. So when you do a sign in the ID object, you're setting this you're setting the user ID that you are trying to sign in, and you have to provide a secret, I suppose, in order to verify that, I don't know, extra security, I presume. So persist the token as T for token, obviously, in cookie with expiration date. So res cookie T token expire new date, and this is an arbitrary number, but basically we don't want this token to be valid all the time, because it's just not secure. So we want to give an expiration to the token. That way the users have to sign in every now and then, I guess. I guess that there must be ways to not give expirations to tokens, but for now I want to just do it this way. Later we can refactor, change, or modify the functionality of the API. So return response with user and token to front end, which in this case we're going to see it through Postman, but we're going to see a JSON body with the user with the user model in general, with the user schema. So raw user return res.json token user, and this is what we're going to be seeing. So we're going to be seeing the token created, and then everything that we request right here, which will be the user ID, the email, the name, and the role. Let me see if I created a role in models. I believe I didn't. Should I create a role? I don't think it's necessary right now. Not for this application, but I just want to be 100% sure. Wait, this category, my bad. Role, yeah, I did create a role, okay. Okay, so this role is for whenever you do a website, you're gonna have, basically you're gonna have admin roles and normal user roles. That way only the admins can modify certain things for the web page. So I think it may be useful in the future to have this added to the user model. So for example, when you want to do, which we'll do right now, or in a little bit actually, if this video is not too long, if we want to be able to delete, create, update, and whatnot, the video game in this case, we could give that permission only to the admin users and not to normal users. Normal users would only be able to see what's on the inventory. But in this case, we're not going to do that. You can just have it that way, you know, where you can put a role, and that's it. And basically, whenever you do X or Y logic, you can say like, if the user requests the video game and is an admin, then you can delete it. Else, return you're not allowed, or whatever. Just an example. But moving on with auth, because we have a lot to do. So we are going to return, as I said, where was I? ID, email name, role. All right, perfect. And I think that should be the end of this method. And now we are going to create the sign out method with an S, obviously. Export sign out equals request response, and then we're going to do rest.clear cookie T, which stands for token, rest.json, and we want to sign a message so we can use it later in the front end. So sign out successful, or successfully sign out, or whatever, sign out success, whatever you want. Be creative if you want. Now there's other methods that I want to create here. So for example, like as a normal user, even you won't be able to create a video game if you're not signed in. So I want to create something called require sign in, a method called required sign in. So in order for you to create a video game in your inventory or in the general inventory, you're gonna have to be signed in. So process.env.jwt secret user property auth. Okay, so that's one. The other one is to be authenticated. So by is authenticated, this means that not only you need to be signed in, but also that you're gonna need the token, and hence why we create a token here. That way you're not deleting, I guess, someone else's stuff, but we'll see about the logic when we get there. For now, we're just worrying about the authentication and this methods that we'll use right away. So request profile ID equals reg.auth.id. So if the user equals false, return rest.status 403. Jesus. And this should be a JSON object with the parentheses because it's an object. And we're gonna send an error message saying access denied. And if it falls under this, then it's going to display that message and it's going to move on to the next task, hence the next. And that's it for now. So we have our user model, we have our auth controller, and we finish our auth route. So now let's go ahead and test this. So yeah, as you can see, I've been testing this in order for this to be smooth. I already created this user, but in order to make this even more, I don't know, just to make this with different, I'm just gonna create a new user. So I don't know, Jerry Doe. I know it's whatever, John Doe. Jerry Doe. So John at gmail.com, password 123. So we're gonna do the sign up. That already worked, right? Ooh, and we have an error. Let's see what an error is. Sign in is not defined. That's because we didn't bring it here, and we didn't bring the other methods. So remember to bring your methods, these methods that you are putting alongside with the route. We have to bring them here. So now I shouldn't have any errors. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to create the user, try to create the user again. Perfect. So there you go. So here's our ID, here's the name, the email, and the timestamp. We don't really have a use right now for the timestamps, but later we can use them for, I don't know, oh, this user has been, I don't know, he signed up since this date or whatever. But yeah, for now, it's just good purposes to have, good habits to have the timestamp of any creation of an object in the database. So now that we have the newly created user, we're gonna test the sign in. So it's John at gmail.com, and the password is 123456. So we're gonna sign in, and there's an error. Let's see what it says. Post user John. Maybe I misspelled it before. User sign up. John at gmail.com. Okay, so let's put this here. Email, password, JSON, headers. I don't see why this is not working. Body John at email. I probably have a typo somewhere. Let's go into the route. So sign in. Okay, let's go into our index. API users. So API users sign. I believe that G should not be there. I think that was it. Yep, that was it. All right, perfect. So here we have our token. Here we have our user, properties. So we have the ID, we have the token in case we want to create new video games in the coming future, the email so we can display it later or make use of it, and the name, which we'll also make use of it. And the role, so the role is going to be 0 as a default. That's going to be the normal user. And you can later manually change it. That's why I recommend row 3T, You go into your database, which in this case mine is video games. You can go into the users, you go into the document and update it. I believe I've said this before. Finally, we can try test the sign out since we already have that. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the ID because you need the ID to do the sign out, I believe. Let me check. So sign out. So when you request a sign out, where is it? Sign out. No, I believe you don't have to request anything. It's just this. So let's do this. Sign out success. Yeah, that's it. Very simple. Just want to make sure that in my notes, because I remember sign out may be a little bit more complicated. So just want to make sure. Yep, that's it. All right, perfect. So that was the end of this video. I'm gonna make one more video where I'm going to create the video game model, the category model, its routes and controllers. And once that is done, then we're gonna be done with the API. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please give it a like, subscribe, and I don't know, share it. See you guys later. Bye.